We're back with a Fox News alert. A new report from special counsel John Durham coming out late last night claiming Clinton campaign lawyers paid a tech company to infiltrate Trump servers to fabricate a connection between Trump and Russia. Former acting attorney general under President Trump, Matt Whitaker, is here to react. Matt, you've seen this report. For our viewers, this might be new for a lot of people. What do we learn here?
Well, it's beyond outrageous, and good morning, Pete. I'm glad to be with you. What we've learned is that there were spying operations going on both to the Trump campaign and its Trump Tower headquarters, and then when President Trump became president, they continued to spy on him at the Executive Office of President. And the question it raises for me, Pete, is why was the federal government not defensively briefing President Trump and his team and the campaign as to this domestic spying operation that was being conducted by the Clinton campaign? And the reason is, it appears that they were complicit in wanting that information, wanting that the link between Trump and the Russia government, and that just does not exist, and it never did exist. And so this Durham investigation is so important to reveal how much of a hoax this truly was.
So, Matt, you're right. This latest revelation from Durham names tech executive number one, law firm number one, tech firm number. You don't get names. But what you're saying is it couldn't have just been one tech firm and one tech exec and one law firm. People inside the government would have had to known this as well.
Yeah, if you really think about it, how protected government servers are and should be, there are certainly government agencies monitoring this traffic to make sure that it's not compromised, that it's not being routed through other people like this university and like this private internet company. But it was, and it was being, not only was it being reviewed on an ongoing and regular basis, but it was being used to ultimately try to create a let's call it a dossier, for lack of a better term, but a document that was going to be used against President Trump or candidate Trump. I mean, again, it is beyond outrageous what happened here, and the fact that the left doesn't seem concerned that this is what was happening, I think shows you how much they wanted to take President Trump down.
Well, we'll get to see that today. As we pointed out at the beginning of the show, entire movies, books written about Watergate and the Washington Post's involvement in digging. Does the Washington Post cover this? Does CNN cover this? Is there any interest by any of the legacy media to get to the truth of the fact that a duly elected U.S. president was spied on? That's an intentional term by a political candidate and other levels of government.
Yeah, and that is exactly what it is. And remember, the Attorney General at the time said that Trump had been spied on, and everybody dismissed that as hyperbole. That is exactly what happened here. We have to make sure it never happens again. But it is also extraordinary how successful President Trump was and how he fought through all of this to ultimately make a significant consequence in the arc of American history to the positive.
And ironically now, we're talking about a potential Russian offensive because of an actual weak U.S. president. Amazing. Matt Whitaker, thank you so much for breaking this down for us.
Great to see you this morning,
Great to see you.